Shalom, praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to rock and teach all truth sincerity. Um, it's gonna be called the prophets of doom, cause the men of the Lord who are preaching out in the highways and byways in all 50 states, um, across America, which is Babylon, and also across the four corners of the earth. We are considered the prophets of doom, because we are coming before the destruction comes, and we're prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom that is in that's in the earth right now. That's that's going on right now. We're prophesying the downfall of the Gentile kingdoms of the world, including America, because America is the corporation that runs the world. The ways of America runs the world. This place, the Western place, is the headquarters of Esau's, kingdom. And, this is Basra, the chief city. This their chief city. Um, and this place influences the entire earth. So we're prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom. Um, 24/7, week in, week out, day and night. How, you know. So anyway, this is Jeremiah 28:8. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence, Salaki." So, we're prophesying against all the wickedness that's going on. Um, and we're uh, before the great destruction comes, we're you know because that's how the Lord, before he brings the destruction, before anything happens, he has to set up his prophets to come before, so when it happened, you were warned ahead of time. And once something happens, you can't say there wasn't a prophet amongst you that said, "Oh, this so and so was gonna happen. This such and such was gonna happen." You know, um, you can't what's the word, say that the prophet wasn't right. You know, or you can't come against that prophet because um, what he said came to pass, and it's going to come to pass, even if it takes 100 years, because I believe the prophet Noah, who prophesied about the flood, it took 120 years, I believe, before the flood came. And once it came, um, all they that doubted him drowned in the flood because they didn't take heed to his message, and they didn't take heed to the warning, so they ended up dying in the flood. So those that that, like the scripture said, all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So if you don't believe what the prophets are speaking, you know you're going to die in your unfaithfulness, for not believing the warning that the prophet is coming to prophesy about, to tell you about, and give you uh, stern warning. Um, but then anyway, I'm gonna go to Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. It's Isaiah chapter 58 verse 1. It says, Cry aloud, spare not, lift thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. So we're not supposed to pacify, and we're supposed to cry aloud like a trumpet, and tell our people um, their transgression against their power, and not sugarcoat and pacify their feelings to be light, because it was supposed to say what does say the Lord out the scriptures, and no matter how they feel, whether they hear or forbear, because our people are a rebellious house, stiff-necked people, and they don't want to take heed to the words of the prophets. So if they don't take heed, they're going to be destroyed. Um, and that's all understanding. That's what I know from the scriptures, that's um, you know, like it says in Ezekiel, we're supposed to come even though they're a rebellious house and tell them anyway, even if they don't take heed. Um, but anyway, I'm gonna move on to Chronicles, Church Chronicles, First Chronicles chapter 36, or no, Second Chronicles. Sorry, um, Second Chronicles chapter 36, verse 15. Sorry. Um, it says, and Yahweh power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes, which means early. The messengers of the Lord rise up early, sending and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers of the Most High, and despised his word, and misused his prophets, until the wrath of Yahweh arose against his people, till there was no remedy. Yeah, because they misuse and mock the prophets. And the Lord, he's going to avenge his prophets, come against those people and destroy them, for doing that. And he don't have to do that right away. He can do that at any time, because you know, you come against the prophets too much, you know, you're going to end up being judged for that. You're not going to escape, coming against, you're not going to escape being judged for coming against the prophets. Um, but I'm gonna go to because there's been many, times a person came against the prophet, they were judged immediately, or it took a period of time, and then they were judged. Because the time that the children were mauled by bears. But anyway, I'm gonna go back to First Samuel chapter 6, verse 4. And Samuel did that which Yahweh spake, and came to Bethel. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, comest thou peacefully? Because when a prophet came to a town, everybody was on edge, and was like, you come into the town peacefully? Because they were afraid. They feared the prophets. Nowadays people don't fear the prophets. They don't fear the men of the Lord. They actually mock, they misuse, they try to put their hands on the men of the Lord and shoot at the men of the Lord. Like, people are so disrespectful of the men of the Lord, which is wicked, because whatever you do to a man of Yahweh Bashin Yahushai, who's a man of the Lord, you're going to be judged on that, on that action that you did. And if the Lord really is pissed at you, he's going to judge you harshly. You know, you know. But I'm gonna go to Ezekiel uh, 33 verse 1. Ezekiel 33 verse 1 says, again the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman. If when he see if the sword come upon the land, and he blew the trumpet and warned the people. Then whosoever heareth the words of the trumpet and take not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. And the men of the Lord, who are the watchmen of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, were set up to blow the trumpet, which is, teaching his word, uh, uh, teaching what is written out the scriptures, you know, strictly what is written out the scriptures, breaking it down, correctly, um, and warning you before destruction comes. Um, you know, we don't do those things, as watchmen of the Lord, teaching and doing the will of the Lord to the best of our ability. The blood, that blood is required of our hands, you know, because we were set up by the Lord to be the watchmen, to be his servants. So our job is to continue doing the will of the Lord to the best of our ability, you know, until the very end. Um, and That is our job, to, to warn the people. So anyway, I'm gonna say all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, walking to y'all, true sincerity and shalom.